Good after good afternoon. From- no, 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 no. What? Come here. Hmm. Anyways, good afternoon. We finished this place, Eric 5. Recruited a new companion, Cassia. And now we're going somewhere else. I don't know. She's gonna be our navigator. Also a companion, so let me just turn my chair. Lord Captain, Lady Navigator, welcome aboard. The Sanctus Navis has been prepared for the communion ritual, but if the Lady Navigator wishes to rest in her quarters first. Your heart starts beating furiously, your breath comes short and choppy. Your fingertips tingle unpleasantly. You notice that Vigdis is shivering slightly, and the crew are glancing around in puzzlement, searching for the source of this sudden wave of unease. Not even looking at the Voxmaster, Cassia waves her away. First, I wish to speak to the rogue trader. Leave us. Of course. When you're ready for the ritual, please let me know. Hello. What are you doing? Boy, here comes your brother. You're teaching your brother bad things. What are you doing? Not you. Cassia sweeps her pensive gaze over Vigdis, then, lowering her lashes slightly, turns to you. What do you... Here you go. Wait. Something. Do 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 boo. Boo boo. Yeah. Cats on cats on cats on cats. Can I help you? Rhea. A few seconds hesitation, Cassia lets out a small exhale and then raises her pointed chin. I'm not thank you for saving me on the station. My thoughts were clouded with so much mournful ash when Theobald's helped me. Heart stopped, but you acted honorably and did not exploit me in my wretched position. For that, I am immeasurably grateful. I'm also deeply grateful that you saved my servants, especially my valet. Can I help you, child? Look. Look. Served on the station for more than 5 years, much longer than any who'd preceded him. He knows how to properly attend to me during journeys through the Materium. What to serve me for breakfast? His presence envelops me in a cloak of amber. Oh, okay. But now, Cassia throws back her shoulders. I am ready to go to the Sanctum Navis and perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvas, and the best paints you have on board, but no red. I doubt the uninitiated can understand the mysteries of navigation, but I shall try to explain the essence of it. I must merge my mind and will with the machine spirit of the ship so that I can become one with the vessel. Cassia lifts a lock of hair from the back of her neck, revealing gilded implant cords. After that, I use the House Orselio ritual, which I am loath to reveal to you, to free my mind of all errant thoughts. Then it's time to open my third eye and peer into the depths of the warp itself. Among the nightmarish visions, mirages, creatures of the abyss, only the light of the Emperor is the truth that will lead me from star to star, from system to system. Oh, the light, the guiding thread so fine I could slip from one's grasp at any moment. Cassia unfurls her hand as though dropping something, but you have nothing to worry about. The navigator of House Aurelio never lose their course. Okay. Cassia nods. Thanks. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the rite. I ask that you do not follow me. If you can if you can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it is open. What if I do want to follow you? Oh, who's approaching now? Lord Captain, I will oversee the open channel between the Lady Navigator and the bridge. May the Emperor's light help us all. Okay. Very well. I'll allow it. The Voxcaster in the Sanctus Navs up the susurration of clothes, pious chanting, and the metallic clinking of implants. Then the serene voice of the Lady Navigator breaks the silence, initiating communion ritual. Come here. The exultant ring of metal freed from its scabbard, the low sob of the servant, the rhythmic drip of liquid on canvas, faint whispers of the brush. Go. Footsteps hurry away. Poor guy. I see. Violet vortexes lashing an ocean with a million flails, and umber shadows spinning over the surface of the fiery dance. The storm rising above foaming waters. Armadas drowning in fog. The path from one end to another cannot be seen. And here, beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother. The sun's pale disk goes in tireless pursuit of her? No, of me. Its frozen rays lie that spring is here. The light is deadened, the great ruler is gone. Master recoils at Cassia's words and accidentally snaps one of the concogitated levers. Panel beneath her fingers emits sparks and the Voxcaster falls silent. She quickly flips a series of switches and bows guiltily. My abject apologies for cutting off the broadcaster, Captain. I have never heard the warp speaking through a navigator before. The connection is restored now. It'll not happen again. Soul-shredding screams drown out the Vox transmission. The servants in the Sanctum Navis are howling and shrieking like wild beasts. Moaning in pain, their thralls rote from the strain, and then sudden silence. The dull thud of dropping bodies proclaims their fate. Rip. It appears the servants were part of the Lady Navigator's rite, as it was for her predecessor. I will arrange for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Navis after the ritual, or what is left of them. Rogue Trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. My servants are all dead. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should be whole in two, and my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around. My brush only draws me onward. The way is blocked. You hear a heavy exhale, rustling fabric, and metallic clinking. By the Emperor's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold steel grip did not allow me to breathe freely even for a second. It was as if the depth of the ship housed not only machine spirits, but something other. Now I will retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you need me. Captain, congratulations on acquiring a navigator. Please spare me a few moments of your time, as there are several matters that require your attention. First of all, I wish to report on the conditions of the station, Urek 5. Had you opted to begin your visit to the Riken system with a different destination, the station could have become critically unstable. Fortunately, the decision to immediately visit the representatives of the Navis Nobilite bought us precious time. We can either focus our efforts on disassembling the station and procuring technological components for our own vessel, or attempt to save as many valuables as we can. With your permission, I would also like to remind you that we are looking for an engine seer prime. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of oversight by an experienced tech priest. We are also missing some crew, and much more importantly, we have not yet located Heinrich von Calix, right hand of the Lord Inquisitor. Now we know for certain he was not on Uric 5, so we should keep in mind when making any future plans. Certainly, Lord Captain, if you're interested, this week passed with a record low rate of minor disturbances on the low decks. Senior Technomat was from Shift 8 came up with a new formula for a lubricant used in kitchen servitor and plant maintenance. Quartermaster of Store Compartment 11 reported recently that we are spending ceremonial decorations at least 20% slower than expected, which means that we have enough tablecloths, carpets, and lamps to last us 15 years of grand receptions instead of 10, even considering some of the stock was burned during the cultist attack of the vessel. Well then, okay, so we're here. We've not explored there. A prison planetoid, which sounds interesting. There's something that's happened here, and then there is Rykad Minoris. So this place. Let's go here. Lord Captain, there is some commotion of the officers' deck. The lady navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the wardroom, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassia to the deck. How about I go stone whoever is shunning our navigator? How about that?
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance. Compared to Uric 5, your ship is a boundless world of unfamiliar hues. And yet, the abundance of bright colors can at times be wearisome on the eyes. The bridge and the decks are so clamorous. In my search for a place of quiet, I was fortunate to come upon this islet of serenity filled with rare tomes and practically devoid of color. Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing. Uric 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course, although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works. One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, A faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you. No, no, it is not that at all, Lord Captain. It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
Give me your blood to paint. Cassia cringes ever so slightly, adjusts the adornment on her forehead, then awkwardly hides her clawed fingers in the folds of her clothes. The unnatural appearance of the navigators often becomes the topic of gossip among lowly servants. Officers alike, it is unsurprising then that Cassia prefers the company of one who is used to how she looks.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior in your question just now insulting. Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs, showing an interest in the books I am enjoying? You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I.
What do you mean, fellow feeling?
I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
What? I'm suddenly having feelings for you.
Please forgive me. I cannot even understand myself right now. Your words and attention have reminded me of life on the station, of Theobald and Felek. I do not understand. They were merely the keepers of Urak 5. So, why do memories of those two make me feel a strange heaviness here?
What, in your heart?
At the same time, I find myself overwhelmed with new excitement and anticipation. At last, I have set foot outside my familiar walls, and into a world that I have only seen before in the pages of books. Your ship alone is a treasure trove of remarkable artifacts and curiosities. And just imagine the things that await beyond, but... my delight must seem childish to you, surely.
Oh God, you can just
In your
immediately
heart,
start
you must be
landing on
finding all
thick.
this quite amusing.
Okay, that two's a little forward, a little bit too much forward.
Words like that, Lord Captain, could easily be misconstrued. You should familiarize yourself with some of the works in your library to learn the appropriate manner of conversing with a lady.
Oh, great. Struggling to maintain an expression of polite indifference, Cassia covers her burning face and swiftly exits the room. Right. Secrets of gallant conduct, how to express your feelings to a noble lady. Of course. Of course. That's funny. Where am I? All right, back to the map. Finding him outside the bridge gate, one of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Orsarian's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance. Everyday sounds at the bridge are disrupted by voices raised in anger. Abelard's voice, the loudest of all. It's not the conduct of an officer. These are the antics of a high-born brat out on a lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. Avrilla Vent, the young woman standing before Abelard, strives with all her might not to quell under the onslaught of her superior's anger. She falters, but then manages to look him in the eye and say, I apologize, sir, but I must speak to the Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence toward a higher-ranking officer will be logged on your personal file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avril Vent, requesting a permission to speak. Was silent and then adds rashly, on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. I'm sorry, Lord Captain. I thought that dramatic times called for dramatic measures. Drastic times. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched to the lower decks on orders to crush the workers' strike by any means necessary. But I am convinced that this step is unwarranted, that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Bent is almost trembling with tension as she delivers her speech, face extremely pale. In no hurry to intervene, lets out a skeptical huff. He glances at Sauerbach, who is standing not far from him, but she maintains a stony expression. Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Orsarian, and to intervene in what's happening on the lower decks. Because very soon you will have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. It reels off the last words, though she knows them by heart. She has clearly been preparing to say them for some time. When she is finished, she casts an anxious glance at Abelard, then at you. There's an insurrection in the making aboard my ship, and no one has informed me. I would not deem it a problem worthy of the rogue trader's attention. The lower decks, as it so happens, are in revolt. 30-some years ago, we even had a revolutionary leader rise up who dared to establish workers' rules across the entire ship. It took a month to restore order, but even 8 years later, we were still battling rumors that the hero had survived his execution and was on the verge of gathering people to fight against tyranny once more. Needless to say, the rumors were baseless. As for the current situation, we have sufficient enforcers to deal with it. On this ship, the word of the Lord Captain carries more weight than a salvo from 100 bolters. Sure that if the rogue trader addresses the malcontents directly, he could quell the unrest. Dread to think what problem you will disturb the rogue trader with next. Perhaps you will ask the Lord Captain to break up brawls in the mess room. I've already given you the means to resolve the problem. You simply need to use them. I may, your lordship. Sending a hit squad to crush the rebellion is a means to ignoring the problem, not solving it. How did it all start? The situation could boil over at any minute, so I'll give you the condensed version. It all began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who had been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it up the chain immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, but the search has brought tensions between the enforcers and the workers to a head. Shall I explain? Beg you to hurry, time is running out. I will not hurry. Since my competence is under scrutiny, I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There is an established order to the way things are done on the ship, and one of the pillars of that system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I've always handled internal problems myself, so, of course, when I received information about cultists hiding on the lower decks, I took the matter in hand. So long as I live, not one of the vermin who murdered Theodora von Valentius will find the refuge on her ship. You were far too heavy-handed. Seneschal Worsarian. What? Far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Worsarian. Arrests, interrogations, mass punishments for entire sectors, who has driven the people to the brink. Vint says bitterly. Now there is a strike on the lower decks, and Depot 4, to be precise. Three worker clans are involved, but many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into an all-out insurrection, but when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. I see no need to add anything. I acted within the remit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interests of your proctorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourselves, I have no objections. For my part, I urge the Lord Captain to go down to the lower decks, stop the assault unit, and speak directly to the people. You will see that they are not lying or harboring heretics. That way, you will stop the uprising before it begins. Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors of the lower decks. It is home to the clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable to the ship as the families who have served its specialized systems for generations. They are an easily replaceable source, and one which is now more besides giving succor to the cultists and minions of the archenemy. Depot 4 is poor and troubled. At worst, that means drunken fights and illegal rotgut brewing. We have handled the workers of Depot 4 in the past, and we would have done so again if the crackdown of Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. And another important point of bear in mind, the problem is not limited to this sector. It is located on one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that happens there has a knock-on effect on all the neighboring sectors. Custis Sauerbach. Our captain, unlike Lieutenant Vint, I respect the chain of command and realize that it is not my right to challenge my superiors. Sauerbach bows her head to Abelard's direction. However, a moment later, a serpentine smile appears on her lips. Being said, while I entirely share Master Westarian's opinion on what fate Depot 4 deserves, I must note that this insubordination is a direct consequence of practices that he himself has introduced. Mr. Sauerbach, I see you have decided to follow the lieutenant's example after all. Such behaviors does you no credit. The ship's regulations state that the Master-at-Arms is responsible for resolving all matters related to the ship's enforcers. Yet it is no secret that Seneschal has a tendency to show partiality. Some forces and officers whom he has deemed particularly promising at times given permission to approach him for tutelage. I cannot deny Master Rosarian's experience and insight. Seneschal has a record of fostering students who have indeed achieved much and demonstrated impeccable performance. However, extending such patronage over the head of their immediate superior encourages disregard for hierarchy among your lordship's servants. Today, an enforcer goes to the Seneschal to report an order for the master at arms, and they happen to disagree with. Tomorrow, they will go to the Lord Captain to object to the Seneschal's orders. I notice a pattern in these actions. Jesus. Mr. Sauerbach, can you recall an occasion where I would encourage an officer to disobey their superior? Or one where I would overrule their order? Show favoritism to those who merited none? None, Seneschal, for there have been no such cases in the entire time I have served aboard this ship. If anyone who were to claim otherwise, I would have them pay for insulting your honor with blood. Your conduct in this regard has always been spotless. Nevertheless, given your eminent position, a simple show of attention on your part is enough to erode the propriety of junior officers, inflate their sense of self-importance, and undermine discipline. Good Lord. But you distinguish some of them and know them by name is tantamount to walking around the officer's deck handing out gifts to officers who have caught your eye. Fills those you set apart with ambition and audacity, makes them stand out among the rest. Enforcers are meant to be faceless servants, fighters ready to die, their fate entrusted to their commander and no one else, as the sole foundation of order. Captain, I swear Seneschal Rosarian has never granted me of any privilege, never once advocated for me, nor facilitated my promotion. Although he is the man who's convinced me to become an officer in the first place, he has offered me extensive guidance in my service, for which I am grateful to him. While not all of my fellows receive such attention, I know at least of a dozen fine officers whom Seneschal keeps in his sights to ensure that they continue to strive. To prepare new generations of the dynasty's servants, to instruct them, and to separate those with potential from those who have exhausted it. That's my duty as the Seneschal. The ship has bays worth of pilots, enforcers, officers, technicians, and stewards whom I have raised personally. But the throne, every third person standing on this bridge right now, was my student at one point. Evidently, my officers are anything but a shining example of unity and adherence today. I have only myself to blame, I suppose. Enterprise bordering on the sophomoric. Please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I escort you. Lord Captain, I regret that the enforcers were unable to handle the situation, which then led to your and the Seneschal's involvement. I consider it my duty to go to Depot 4 myself and see the expedient resolution of the incident. Well, here we go. Oh, we're taking a party, huh? Oh boy, taking a party. That's that usually calls for more than just talks. Okay. Abelard reflexively wipes the sweat from his brow in a startling human gesture and a telling one. A rare moment where he allows his age and wariness to show through his armor-like veneer of self-assurance. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locals with servitors. Of course they were. The organizations of the daily routine life of the ship rests upon my shoulders. A mountain of challenges and problems from which I endeavor to insulate you, Lord Captain. The situation of the lower decks has been a cause for concern. I have intervened personally on more than one occasion. Must be why they remember me. They do not know your face. To them, you are akin to a creature of legend. One who has stood on the steps of the Golden Throne, no less. Whereas I am the man whose name is attached to every order, docking rations, or lowering a bay's heating. Okay.
Look no further.
Ow.
I still do not see our purpose in coming here.
Relax, old man.
Sounds like a heated discussion reverberates through the ship's ways. Lieutenant Avrilla Vent of the ship's enforcers is barring the path of her superior, Master-at-Arms Jocasta Sauerback, who has arrived clad in armor. Judging by their expressions and tone, the standoff has dragged on for some time already and has now reached boiling point. Lieutenant Vent, my patience is wearing thin. I have given you an order. Now get out of my way. I cannot comply with that order, ma'am. Vent looks shaken, but there is fire in her eyes. This is my deck and my sector. So long as this area remains under the Lord Captain's special oversight, no action can be taken without my express permission. There are only 3 people who are authorized to make me stand down. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears, Abelard mutters in crabby approval. He does not clarify whether he means Vent, Sauerback looming over her, or both. Your Lordship, noticing you, the 2 officers snap to attention and salute their subordinates, following suit a moment later. Your Lordship, my people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control as far as resources allow. Under control, Lieutenant. I came here to lead an investigation unit, and what do I see? The rabble is on the verge of mutiny. There is nothing to investigate. Something calls for immediate repressions and firing squads, and you, Vent, are a step away from facing charges yourself. The people are getting desperate, clearly. They saw the assault unit and they decided they had nothing left to lose. I mean, I apologize, Captain. It's outrageous. I'm sure the people simply didn't recognize you. It wouldn't have occurred otherwise. We will deal with them once the current situation is resolved. All right, here we go.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
It's back this way, though. What's he doing? Why did it pause?
I always have a backup plan.
What pause? Something paused.
Let us not dawdle.
Something popped up, but I don't know what it was. Dozen pairs of eyes stare apprehensively at you. People before you are typical inhabitants of the lower decks. You take in their simple clothing, crude weapons, faces display varying levels of mutation, from the barely discernible to the strange and outright grotesque. Whisper passes through the crowd, and you detect a mixture of fear, astonishment, and joy in their reactions. Finally, 3 people break away from the crowd, an elderly woman and 2 men. Lord Captain, you've come down to us. Striking. That's news to us, your lord. Ship, says a tall, thin man in worker's garbs. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Shut up, Rivet, snaps the old woman, who turns her hostile dark eyes on you. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for cultists. One wrong word, and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to whole base for a week at a time, so we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones died from inflammation in their lungs, all because of those enforcers. Argenta does not interrupt the workers, but you see the sadness well in her eyes when the children's deaths are mentioned. She quietly whispers a requiem prayer and makes a sign over herself. It's all true. Vint is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It's clear as day, who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amid ships and has no fellow feeling toward us. Your lordship, there were no villains here. We're honest workers, servants who plotted no disorder. We went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. Cultist amulet. What's that? The gewgaw they found on the dead drunkard? If it was anything evil or forbidden, we sure didn't know. The enforcers just said that they were looking for heretics among us. Anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know of our own people. There have been no new faces around. Definitely not. And if there were, we'd be the first to report them. As for this amulet, or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector, that's for sure. But when that fight broke out, some enterprising folks looted the bodies. Boots they came back with. Nobody's ever tread these decks in the boots so fine. I can tell you that. Seems to me these cultists have better commanders than us. Oh yeah, those boots were really were fine. And there was no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor. When we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motor. Same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by a tech priest who came calling, "Believe us, your lordship, we are people of faith." Naive children. Weren't you taught from an elderly age about the dangers of the arch enemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister. It was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I had had my 3rd little one. That is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when beasts crawl out of those amulets who stole from the heretics? The Holy Father who was not there, or the scavenger who brought evil down on himself and his neighbors? Authorize the use of necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in the sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me. Abelard frowns, clearly disgruntled at having to explain himself in the workers' presence. Nevertheless, I am certain that their actions were justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores. They are the enemy and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. Rabble understands only one language, Lord Captain, that of violence. As per regulation, should the laborers persist in their unwillingness to cooperate, the next step is limiting air supply and cutting off water, which is almost certain to restore order. The peasants can grumble all they want, but in the end, they are the source of their own misery. All they have to do is bow their heads and fall in line, and the need of punitive measures will disappear. Here's an explanation for you. People have been pushed to their limit, and now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why those top deck units are being sent down here, like they were the ones the lieutenant won't let pass. Our clans are all inside of the bays that's been sealed off. The lower decks are big. I'm sure there are people who've just had enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. The death squad has just arrived. It's no wonder folks are lashing out. Their words seem sincere to you. Their body language and the glances traded between them reveal the news of the attack has shocked them. Okay. You look at this. The exalted Lord Captain himself is asking us bilge rats what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers. Quit turning off the heat and to stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want enforcers gone from here, and we want to be armed. Give us arms, and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if the cultists do show their faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of the club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. Ooh, that's gonna be interesting. You've gone too far, old man. They'll never let the maggots of the lower decks live without the enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably even insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. As for weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. True. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find the scavengers who robbed the cultist body, and we'll talk to them. One lower decker to another. If there are any more of those damned ambulants about, we'll hand them over to the enforcers ourselves. I vote that we put Lieutenant Vent in charge of this, since they actually seem to like her. In an attempt to calm things. You speak for yourself in your clan, and I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures. I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, but as soon as the anointed one turns his back, those brutes will be on us even harder than before, all because we dared to speak out. Huh. story about going scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up a heretical amulet doesn't convince me. These people were moments away from rebelling and possibly becoming minions of the archenemy. We must not give them what they want. Even if they acquire something innocently, purely out of their own stupidity, that does not mean they are not tainted with corruption. Fair. What begins as petty thievery can turn into a far graver problem. I have seen it before. In my second war, there was a sergeant in the Imperial Guard regiment stationed nearby. The sergeant took an ordinary pocket knife from the body of a heretic. His whole unit lost their lives for it. They finally managed to break into the barracks. They found not a single survivor, only the pocket knife, which had grown through all the rows of beds like a metal choking vine. So when it comes to scavengers, malcontents, strikers, or whatever they'll turn into next, my verdict is simple: give them no quarter. Give the rabble a Grox. They will take an agri-world, Lord Captain. They only understand brute force and will interpret any concession as a sign of weakness. Giving them weapons and recalling the enforcers would be folly. It would only be a matter of time before we had a full-scale mutiny on our hands. Tall worker they call Rivet shrugs and casts a sidelong look at the old woman. Old Nan, listen. The Lord Captain himself has come down to us and is offering concessions. Now, I don't know a single person in the whole Depot 4 who's ever stood next to the rogue trader, let alone talk to them. Back down. Now's no time to be a stubborn old crone. Listen to us, Old Nan. 3 clans of Depot 4 ought to act as one. We've made up our minds. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that. You are ganging up on me, is that it? So brave you are against an old woman, but I'll shut up. Oh well, indeed. I won't go against 2 clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace. I guess we could. Okay, so I guess we brought the party in case
Rise to the top.
we had to just start blasting. Yeah, guess that's why we brought the party. In case we did have to start shooting.
I always keep my options open.
Stopping unexpectedly, Abelard imperiously dismisses the unit to stand at a distance and addresses your other companions, saying, I have an urgent matter to discuss with Lord Captain. Please give us a moment. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You kowtowed to the disloyal rabble. You believed their lies and showed them leniency. Each time the ship is attacked by cultists, that rabble will welcome them in with open arms and allow them to wreak whatever havoc they like, because they see you as a weak leader. Is that how you see your future at the helm of the Von Valencia, Sprogrit? Ooh. Interesting. Speak to your Lord Captain in that tone. Why are you so angry? I solved the problem. There is some truth to your criticism. I should say so. Abelard heaves a sigh, but he visibly relaxes. You simply needed to trust me. Would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene. Remember, Lord Captain Theodora, do you think she ever set one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers while she dedicated herself to grand designs for the Proctorate, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought to. Maybe if Theodora had spent more time on trifling matters, she wouldn't have wound up dead. There's an oh god, let's not say that. I'd be only too willing to trust in my seneschal and not fill my head with such matters, but the situation has spiraled out of your control, Abelard. What? I don't know. One's pushing it a little too much. You're right. At least as concerns junior officers making complaints directly to you. And I lost my temper, Lord Captain, and I believe I ought to explain myself. The prosperity of the Von Valencius Proctorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw Lord Captain Theodora's deeds the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds, they create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I'd come from a long line of officers, and I embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture. Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with all the concerns she had no time for. She would go off on her flagship for long periods, distant frontiers, on scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire Proctorate rested on my shoulders. And suddenly, everything that had been built over years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hanger on a seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what is happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. All this has come to as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty-bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible. And do that, I must insulate you from the problems that is the past. In the past have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures set out in the ship's regulations. Procedures that have established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed excess to requirements. Dude, one just comes across as you're an ass. I understand, but you do not need to learn. One and two just, I don't know. Not how I'd put it. Your resolve is admirable and demonstrates strong leadership. I shall remember the moment which my old habits ever begin to creep back in. Alright, fair enough. Fair enough. One was pretty much like, she's dead. Stop talking about her. All right, back to the map we go. Can we make it to our destination? No one knows. Obviously. Hey, we made it. In scan. All right, let's see what's happening here. What? Oh, snap. A pale young woman looks at you with a mixture of hope and disbelief swirling in her eyes. You notice her hands trembling as she clutches her weapon. Who are you? Did you come from the planet? Are you reinforcements? Saint's Teeth. I thought you never come. At once, the woman stands at attention. Captain Raquel Vicari, servant of the House of Winterscale and the pilot of this shuttle. It is an honor to be greeting His Lordship von Valencius. The only settlement on Racatphilia is a penal colony. Prisoners work in the mines and the domed quarries. They mine sulfur, surma dust, and sand. Ceram dust. Okay. Which is then melted down. Further nondescript place, or so it was prior to the current events. There's been a prison riot. What? A prison riot on a prison planet? Say it ain't so. That is being led by the prison warden himself, the Honorable Anthegon Castiglia. He has allied himself with the rebel that he himself was supposed to watch and declared Racatphilia as to be independent of the authority of the system's lawful governor. Nice. I am here as the shuttle pilot alongside the Honorable Evane Winterscale, son of Caligos Winterscale, rogue trader, vanquisher of Xenos, forever triumphant over the enemies of humanity. Details enunciating every word of her overlord's title. Young Lord Winterscale wished to speak to the warden personally so he could put an end to this lawless treason. He and his escorts went ahead and, she grows paler, haven't been able to contact him over the box for a very long time. How long's that? Evane? Evane. Stroking his beard. One of his distant younger offspring, yes. That's as much as I know about him, which means he hasn't distinguished himself in any meaningful way. Evane Winterscale has made several diplomatic visits to Uric 5 on behalf of his father, rogue trader Caligos Winterscale. The Great Regent would not have granted entry to someone dishonorable, which means whatever happened in this terrible malodorous place, we must aid this man of noble blood. Yes, she bites her lip. No one expected this. Master Castiglia is a nobleman from a respected governor house and a vassal to House Winterscale. All of a sudden, he proclaimed that Racatphilia was known was now his personal domain, and that the prisoners were subjects, and that he would never bow to anyone again. It's pure heresy. And I take it they're looking forward to the diet of sand and gravel. What kind of madman would start a revolt in barren rock? It's a personal matter. Master Castiglia, the seditious warden, is Lord Yvain's childhood friend. When my lord heard of the riot, the news saddened him greatly, and so he rushed here without delay, in hopes of bringing his old friend to his senses, no doubt. First Winterscale in my memory, who first talked first rather than shoot and slash. She smiles faintly. Young Lord Winterscale is not his father's shadow. He is determined to save his friend. He won't back down. I pray to the throne that he is alive and well. He's been gone for such a long time, and I really don't like this man. Ugh. Cassia frowns in confusion. Theobald executed his wife and only son on the mere suspicion of treason against House of Celio. So why did the noble Yvain rush to save someone who had betrayed his house? Do bonds of friendship give one the right to make inexcusable mistakes? Unless one of the prisoners are guards, then it seems unlikely. There's no shuttles in working order other than yours and mine. There's nothing else anyone could have used to reach this place. Some of the rebels have holed up in the barracks. I don't know how many, but given this is the only way through, where the negotiations are taking place, I expect heavy resistance. Please take caution, your lordship. Lord Winterscale's guards mind the entrance so that the rebels couldn't get to the shuttle. Boom, boom. Your lordship, if I may have a minute of time, I wouldn't ever have dared to trouble you with the personal matter, but the situation, in any case, have you been to the capital of Rekid Minoris yet? No. I wanted to ask if you saw men there. The communications officer by the name of Jasper. What's your relationship to this man? We are engaged, your lordship, she declares somewhat bashfully. That's a shame. May the Emperor keep the fool from harm. Thank you for your time, your lordship. Okay.
I better myself through my service.
Good job, Argenta. Build a bridge. Okay, guess not. Into the barracks. Yeah, looks safe in here.
This could be an opportunity.
Cass, tell me, what do you see when you look at me?
Usually a colorful pandemonium, but now your colors have faded. Are you afraid of me, Idira? Or of what I might see in you?
Huh.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
What? Oh, another trap.
I'll make an example out of you.
You'll make a suitable sacrifice.
Okay. He's got a gun. Doesn't. He's got a gun. Grenadier Guard. Who's the Grenadier Guard? You. Oh, we don't get to set up, do we?
Out of my way.
It's gonna hurt.
Death does
Pain
not
and
believe us.
duty go hand in hand.
I bring ruin. I serve the ruinous powers.
I'll do it. Eradicated.
Okay. I have enough for another burst.
Death to the weak. I serve the ruinous powers.
I'm not injured. I'm enraged.
Just kick me?
Let's get to it.
Now, how the devil did you move that far?
Anything else?
But of course.
I don't need luck. I have strategy.
Oh, I have strategy, it says.
Who, if not me? On it. You never stood a chance.
Those two are dead.
I'll make it happen. Another enemy down.
Nice. Grenadier and... Oh. Huh.
I'm afraid not. Emperor, give me strength.
What does this do?
Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
Okay, dude missed. We're gonna have to
I will
disengage.
bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Only needed the first shot.
Doubt is for the weak.
Asked a way to run back, to move back. How are you moving so much?
ease movement in the Empyrean. Was that you? Or...
A decent amount of damage.
I'll see to it personally.
High momentum.
What? Alright, it's too far.
I will do my duty.
Just barely too far.
Chaos guides me. Ah!
Okay.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone!
Oh.
I'm here, maggot.
One fewer target.
Will do. Farewell.
There we go. Chick did some damage.
What advice do you seek?
Fate and fortune favor the bold. Is there money to be made?
Improved auto pistol.
I always have a backup plan.
Alright, what do we pick up here? Main sword. I don't. I'm carrying a lot of this stuff around that I just need to sell. Shotties, sniper rifle, dead shot, stub, revolver. Rate of fire is 1. Yeah, we're going for that. We're going for the burst weapons. That'd be nice, but Cassia. Ooh, she can't use it. Why can't she use it? Oh, strength. Gotcha. Oh, I can't even use it. Ah, blurred. Here. Get you a pistol. Just in case you need it. Mouse or Celio. Isn't she not using that? Oh, she is. Okay. Auto gun. Tabani pattern. Last gun. Difference is pin, armor pin, This one has burst. That one's got burst. Alright, serrated mono knife. It's bleeding. 6, 10, 9. He's got him a noob. Knife, stub revolver. Wait a minute. Now that. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's only got 2 shots, though. Tis only got the 2 shots. Prisoner shank 1 to 18 damage. Or an improved auto pistol. 6 shots. Yeah. That. We're 30%. It's medium. Sick. What do we got? Persuasion. Those to you. Hit chance, critical hit chance, tentacle goggles. Logic. Some of the wear deals damage. The target's weapon skill and ballistic skill is reduced by 5. 2 rounds, stacks up to 6 times. Oh. The target's weapon skills and ballistic skills. Okay, cool. You... Can't use either.
Keep your wits about you.
I can see the agitate. Servants beside me. But you... How do you manage to drown out their colors with mere words? Their dark hues dissolve immediately, and humility sets in.
I have always desired only respect, not fear. It is good to know that my efforts have not been in vain. Thank you for telling me.
Think of it.
An expected result.
He keeps... I fail it for him to succeed. Oh, wait, what? The heck happened in here?
Let us not dawdle.
Dark forces of chaos. Uh-oh. Let me check these diaries here. Hmm. What? Okay, some chaos is seeping into this place. Huh. Oh, this dude's going crazy. Was this number 1? No, that's part 3. Where's part... Oh, that's part 1. Okay. I read part 3 first. Oh. Third key.
Always keep your eye on the prize. Success is the only outcome I accept.
Hey, we leveled up. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Thank the throne. Normal looking faces. We thought we were going to die here with these nutters. Old man with a gape-toothed smile drops his weapon and holds out his hands in a placating gesture. Bum. I'm gonna die with these nutters. Please don't shoot us. Your nobleness, let us speak a word. Wow, this is a welcome change. Talking before shooting. Still, Lord Captain, the look of this ragtag bunch hardly inspires trust. Here's the deal. We're honest, quiet inmates. We didn't want to riot, but well, sitting it out wasn't really an option either. Warden's lapdogs made short work of those who refused to join in the festivities, so we had to, play along. That's all it was. Play. We never meant to offense. We never meant no offense to Governor Medina nor to the lawful authorities of House Winterscale. Give us a chance, eh? We just want to wait until everything blows over and we can go back to ourselves quietly with the rest of our time. A repentant, honest heretic. How novel. Judging by Abelard's tone, the Seneschal is utterly unimpressed by the old man's integrating monologue. The low-born speech is mottled with colors that conceal his true darker hues. This old man has a long history of lies, and he is using his wiles on us all as well, but I see no foul corruption or ill intent to his words. Tell me more about the Warden and the riot. My soiled tongue's talking about that heretic, but if you insist, here's how it is. The warden of this here prison, the Honorable Master Castiglia, was a crackpot from the start. Previous warden ran things the proper way: prayer, 1 meal a day, work, lunch, and the chompers from the yards, work again. But the new one, do you know what his first decree was? He introduced lunches and dinners. By the 9 devils, that's 3 meals a day. The man was obviously stark raving mad. Things only went downhill from there. The guards quit it with the teeth punching. The warden forbade them. Instead, the overseers started counting which prisoners were digging up more things in the quarry or swinging their pickaxes harder or whatnot. And then, would you believe it, they put together a list of best workers. And if someone on the list showed good behavior, that's when they got promoted to an optimate. That's the upper crust among us jailbirds. Or that's how it was at first. Then the warden decided it's the optimates, not the guards, who should be in charge of punishments. And that it wasn't the overseer's job to watch the prisoners work. It was the optimates. Well, let me tell you, that's where those goody two-shoes really started to shine. The guards aren't even in the same league as our jail fellows, the optimates. In the old days, we had maybe 5 or 10 stiffs kicking it a week. Now we're lucky if it's only 50. And that wasn't even the end of it. Warden Castiglia moved out of its chambers to live right in the quarry, among the dome. On crazy. He began spouting the wildest things like the optimates are saints who will behold the truth. He even started taking to the quarry. Not all of them returned. The ones who did, he wouldn't recognize them, more beast than man. They were butchering people left and right, even guards and overseers. The warden himself had armed them. And that's the whole sob story. But I knew it from the moment he let us have dinners. Oh, this won't end well. It was the dinners. Extra food for you? That's where it goes bad. Codger's right. Whenever nobles start giving handouts to commoners, something always goes wrong. I mean, with all due respect, your lordship, no offense intended. Now, how can lowly jailbirds hope to thank your noble self? I have an inkling. You see, us here were, how should I put this different from the rest of the prisoners in this place? They're all petty thieves from Rykid and Manoris. Debtors, gutter snipes. There's no one serious. Now we, your noblesse, are cut out of a different cloth altogether. We're fortune seekers from the void. Why don't we tell you where on Footfall Station? You know Footfall, the only shipyard and the best market in all Coronus Expanse. Yes, so where on Footfall you can find very serious business-minded people and how you can get yourself very special discount on very special goods. Okay. Speaking. The most serious kind, your nobleness. Have you heard about the Fellowship of the Void? It's the largest pirate alliance in the Expanse. There is no leader, of course. There's some terrible, serious captains who decided that cutting each other's throats over loot was, what do you call it? Counterproductive. But cutting throats together, now that's anti-counterproductive. And well, their joint efforts leave them with an excess of spoils, so they need to dispose of it somehow. And I, your nobleness, just happen to know someone who handles such kind of dealings on behalf of those very serious people. Very well. Right. If you're ever on Footfall Station, there's a district there, Shadow Quarters. It's called out It's called that because it's located behind the statue of our holiest emperor. I've known folk who called it something else, also on account of it being behind the statue. Don't repeat their mistakes, I tell you. Reverend Hieronymus wastes no time finding and burning them all. That's funny. That's funny. Forgive an old man for getting distracted. So, Footfall, the Shadow Quarters. There's a bar there built in the remains of an old ship. And in that bar, in the back room, a certain Ryza does her business. Tell her grandpa, Backball says hello. You'll be her favorite client in the blink of an eye. There we are. Well, your nobles, we'll be going now, if you don't mind. Yeah, we could pardon them, but what did they do? What are they here for? Hey, at least one bowed to me.
The Emperor favors me today.
Wait, was there another? Oh, it's another way to the main level. All right, let's get some levels in here. Abelard, my buddy. Bum, 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 bum. Let's see, Abelard. We are what, 7? 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we're 7. Weapon skill, and a fleet combat training. Oh, that's nice. Parrying an attack, they immediately make an attack with the secondary weapon against the same enemy. Ooh. So, should he be dual wielding? Interesting. Should he be dual wielding then? I mean, I'll see where we eventually get dual weapon combat. Heavy Maul, auto striking power sword. Huh. Heavy Maul, auto striking power sword, Bonebreaker. Be using a shield? Interesting. Interesting. I mean, okay, hang on. Which creature exclusively pairs an attack with their primary melee weapon, they immediately make an attack. Secondary weapon against the same enemy. So, and I could slap another weapon on him, I guess. Pyromancy. 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 Satanic powers. Just kidding. It's not satanic. It's sanctic. Okay. All right, Argenta. And all right, now Cassia. Cassia. Be good to put on Abelard. Oh, that's seems nice. Right, now myself. What are we working with? Can I not do ballistic skill? Why can't I do ballistic skill? Huh. Why I can't go up ballistic skill anymore? Yeah, Agi. Okay, familiar kickback. At the end of the turn, Fortress World characters gain stacks of never stop shooting equal to okay. Sure. Go, level 7. Nice. Minor staff. Interesting. Cassia use it? No. She can. Foe hammer. Oh, is that a one-handed shotgun? Headshot stub revolver. A lovely. You know what? Let's put that in the offhand. Okay, but does he get to attack with it? That's the question. Does he get to attack with it if you pair? Well, I guess we'll find out. We'll test it out. You know what? All right, keep that. Just, you know, if I get a good line of them, maybe. Possibly. We'll play with it. We will play with it. All right. Door. I think that's him. He has a door, right? Yeah, he has a door.
Is there money to be made?
To the pit. To the pit.
I won't let it define me.
Oh, I keep failing that. Poisonous gas. Oh, well, looky here. It's the warden himself.
I always have a backup plan.
Allow us to get in here. Now we want. Yeah, this is gonna be a showdown.
Let's not waste time with pleasantries.
Oh. I told you, Evie. Why are you hiding so much from us? Arrogant mentors, holy brothers and sisters. But what have they ever given us? Nothing but a pile of fibs and useless abominations. But Aurora, she's different. She spoke with me like no one ever had before. She revealed the truth to me, and now I revel in it. Revel in it. Now I can reveal it to you if you just stop struggling for 1 minute. What? The man finally realizes he is not alone and turns to you. Well, he wasn't alone to begin with. There's about 6 other guys, so... Blood dripping. He's clutching a long, thin metallic rod with blood dripping off it. We have guests from the Bon Valencia's ship, I would wager. Evie, my dear, you will have to wait. Do not faint, I beg of you. It's important that you feel everything, including your other eye. Uh-oh. Warden's words are suddenly drowned out by a chorus of voices in your head. The entity that still dwells in the recesses of your mind rejoices in a cacophony of cries. This place holds great significance for the entity. In the frantic chanting of the voices, you can almost make out words that speak of an ancient grave, one that was opened, for it contained a priceless treasure, a most coveted prize that was retrieved by the faithful after a centuries-long search. Such dreadful shades, Cassia recoils and covers her mouth. The colors of this place that are tristant to the core. And these people, their colors are oozing with madness and despair, pain, and doom. Lies have many faces, but there is only one truth, and it has been laid bare before me. I knew the enemy of the truth would come here sooner or later. You know, we had this guy once. He was a quiet one. One day he walked into the middle of the deck bar, threw one back, and then pulled out a gun and started shooting people left and right, without saying a word. Then he shoved the barrel in his mouth and blew his brains out. Our warden here has exactly the same look in his eyes right now. Sincerest apologies. Where are my manners? Please, allow me to introduce Yvain Winterscale, the younger son of Caligos Winterscale in the flesh. You know, he was so close to witnessing the truth right before you interrupted our little chat. A fleeting glance at Winterscale's outstretched body is enough to turn your stomach. Torture. Very word that makes you cringe is shameful. Mine reels with memories you have tried unsuccessfully to push to your back all the Yep. How dare you, contemptible peasant. For every drop of noble blood you spill, you will pay 100-fold more. Cassia turns to you for support with an expression that is equal parts indignant and frightened. Abelard shakes his head somberly. Poor fool. I knew nothing good would come of this naive attempt to negotiate with heretics. However, Yvain appears to still be alive. If we make haste, we might yet save him. Having a scion of House Winterscale in your debt would certainly prove beneficial. You truly want to know. He becomes more animated and runs his hand through his matted hair. You know it has been some time since he last trimmed his nails. This was my garden, where I tried to grow the seedlings of a beautiful future. That was before I realized that there is no future, not in the sense of ordinary people understand. We are too attached to this life, to the limitations of our weak bodies, to the short-sightedness of our eyes that can scarcely see. It is all so insignificant. True future lies beyond real space. The only way to reach it is through a cleansing sacrifice. You understand? They are my optimist saints who will guide the flock at the fated hour. Listen, he pauses and smiles. Can you hear? You can't. They are crying out, calling. It's just that their cries are not meant for our ears. They cast their voices out there, beyond the edge of the glass, into the transparent quiet. There they are heard. There their call is answered. Oak Trader, every moment you spend talking to the heretic could be a moment spent destroying him and committing this place to purifying flames. Isn't it time we got started? Gaze bores into you. Then he smiles with concern of his lips. You are too late, enemy of the truth. This bastion has already fulfilled its great purpose. You will never find the trail of the reclaimed relic that now rests in the hands of the devout. Oh, they managed to barge in here and interfere with the prophetess's designs without even knowing who she is. But it's too late. You never attain sight. All you can do is escape your fate. Okay, here we go. Adira, you up? Be up first. Three, four, get. Okay, who's going first? Warden, him, that dude in the back, followed by me. Abelard, where can I position you first? There's 2 in the back, 3 in the back. Oh, there's a 4th sniper position. Go here. We'll go here. Adira. Make them come to us, right? Cassia, dear. Here. That's good. Dira. Okay.
Let's make it quick.
Missed.
Chaos guides me.
Ooh. Okay. So I have this. So if I did this. Doubles it, but what happens if I do this? I mean, I don't want to shoot it just to see.
It's as good as done.
Or
On it. Your end was inevitable.
nice. Nice.
I'll see to it. Consider this a taste of what's to come.
That was a lot of misses. That was a lot of shooting and a lot of misses. No. A lot of shooting for a lot of missing. All right.
Out of my way! Death to non-believers!
What? Okay, Argenta.
Rejoice in battle!
Let's go. That.
I find it hard to find battle is not over.
How the... Argenta, I don't quite understand
Faith without deeds is worthless.
how you managed to
I'll do
shoot
it.
me. I don't quite understand that. I'm completely baffled. I'm completely baffled. By
Isn't
what
this a
just
job for the
transpired.
serfs?
I am blown away by what has happened just then. Like,
Death to the weak!
I don't even know what to think. What? Unholy lens. The heck is that? I just don't know.
That is not my destiny.
But of course. Was that you? Or... anything else?
That's not really what I wanted.
Out of my way.
Oh,
Help me, Lord Captain.
so that's what's happening, huh? All right, I'm okay. We're let's just bring this back. Let's just bring this back. That's Argenta literally unloaded the entire round into my back.
That's how it's done.
Experience. Nothing matters more.
It's so annoying.
Keep your wits about you.
So annoying.
The Emperor sets my path. Carry the Emperor's will as your torch.
Okay. Two of us are gonna come over here and deal with this. You three.
The future is never certain.
Gonna deal with this side.
Sins hidden in the heart turn all to decay.
Your arrogance will be your downfall.
Surrender to the dark powers.
Oh god. Abelard, you rolled ass on your initiative. So did Argenta. Right.
Hold on.
Who, if not me? I'll make it happen.
Okay.
I serve the ruinous powers.
I've suffered worse.
Chaos guides me.
Yes, gather up around Abelard so he can cleave you. Thank you.
Chaos guides me. Ah!
This dude's next. Let's go ahead and
Will
kill
do.
him.
What an unfortunate turn of fate. But of course,
I am a navigator, not a servitor.
Uh,
It will be done.
okay.
I have read tomes of military tactics.
She has read the tomes. Too far. Okay. He killed his own dude. Okay. Well, she didn't remain standing for long.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
Really. It's point blank.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
Let's kill his buddies first.
Indeed.
Go.
Here we go.
Ow.
That's that slippery.
Ow. Run this way. I'm pretty sure everything's going to be out of my range. Oh, maybe not. Is he on fire though now?
On it.
Yeah, he's dead.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
That's it.
That's not the Seneschal's job.
Okay, don't know why you didn't
At
attack.
your beck and call.
Let's get to it.
Can we?
Brace yourself, Abelard.
Miss. I don't think that's gonna. See, can she? Nope.
High momentum.
Okay. That's all the survive. I have 4 health.
On it. You should feel honored to witness this. I'll see to it personally. I'll make it happen.
That's dead. There's not another one, right? Not that I see.
I'll see to it personally.
Oh, come on.
It's as good as... You never stood a chance.
Okay. Just out of range.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone.
She's got 7 health. You just had to hit like 2 more shots. Argenta.
I'd rather not.
I'd rather you did.
I will do my duty.
Oh, that would have been clutch.
It will be done.
Oh, Argenta's down. Tried. There we go. There we go. Don't believe we've been properly introduced. Blood is bubbling on the young man's lips, and his voice is barely audible. But even now, remains melodious and quite courteous. Yvain Winterscale, af Cornus, greatly pleased to make your acquaintance. On the rare days that Lord Winterscale visited Eric V, the station was awash in a mist of warm hues. We were forbidden from meeting each other, but I was delighted still to see how rare colors in my home. Now, however, his colors are darkening, twisting from pain and bitterness. We must help Lord Captain. We must save the clarity of his soul, for he whose presence makes the world a little brighter deserves no less. Lady Cassio, I presume. Sacred child of House Orselio. How disgraceful it is that on the day we finally meet, Vane looks away in shame. I find myself not at my best. This is no disgrace in your predicament, Lord Winterscale. The Lord Captain and I met under similar dreadful and tragic circumstances. And the warden, my friend, I tried to convince him to stop the riot. Diplomacy failed. Speaking is a struggle, but he continues stubbornly. Father hates diplomacy, which is why I had to try. Wounded. I would have phrased it altogether differently. Tortured and maimed, perhaps. Have you ever had your eyes burned out? This was my first time. I cannot say I recommend the procedure. It... Okay. Woo. Bit of a doozy. Not ideal. Noble sword. When I hit the sword, attack inflicts the disturbed effect on the target for 2 rounds. If the target of the attack is already suffering from the disturbed effect, the attack deals an additional 6 damage. Ooh. Damn, that's nice. Improved armor, body glove, and a precise last pistol. Deadeye shot. Okay. You're drawn to the shards of the enormous land scattered around the broken device. At first, you're uncertain as to what troubles you, but suddenly the realization hits you. The flash shimmers in a unique way, just the same way as the shards of the unknown broken object you found near Theodore von Valencia's desk. What's the matter, Lord Captain? Why are you so interested in... Abelard trails off when he notices what you were looking at. He instantly makes the connection. The Imperium Saints. It cannot be. Adira bites her lips. I see it too. Whatever that thing is, the thing in her study was, it was made from the same material as this junk. What? Abelard is at a loss for words. Takes a moment to collect himself, and all at once they start pouring out in a hasty sputter. It's a mistake, slander meant to blemish the good name of a person who is dead now dead and cannot even defend herself. First, those minions of the archenemy murdered Lord Captain Theodore, and now this cannot be tolerated. It will not be tolerated. I don't know. What's his face was... Conrad was pretty surprised that she was dead. Come on now, Abelard. Remember what she was like. Your smile betrays her grief, but at the same time, it's strangely knowing. Brazen, assertive. It was like her entire life was a race against fate until fate caught up with her in the end. She should have gone headfirst into a black hole if she had thought it would put her even one step ahead of everyone else in the expanse. We could just find out what she was keeping in her desk. She went to, and why she went to get it during the attack. Argenta's beautiful face is full of grief. How bitter it is to know that you were born from bad blood, but do not let this knowledge drag you into darkness. Sister's words ring with a genuine, sincere hope that you be blessed with a worthier fate. She does not appear to be shocked by the news of Theodore's possible heresy. Life must be so easy for you, sanctimonious creatures. A dubious trinket, and you no longer see a person. You see bad blood, an annoying hindrance. Argenta recoils but the next moment her dark eyes ignite with fury. How dare you admonish me? We are speaking of abetting the archenemy, a person who has tainted themselves, thus can never justify their actions. Sure, why go through all the trouble of trying to make sense of anything when you can just label them a heretic and call it a day? Except, my dear friend, I seem to remember that you didn't mind Theodora so much while you were aboard the ship. You didn't leave her side for even a moment. She rescued you, aided you, and you and your adoration wilted the moment you heard an accusation sullying her memory. You weren't surprised or upset. You just gave up on her and moved on. I mean, Adira is technically right. We don't know. Kept an unsanctioned witch by her side like a pet. I believe she would think twice about crossing the line the other way. We don't know, but you're very much one way or the other. Good job, Abelard. You're the MVP.
Rise to the top, or get left in the dust.
Well, a couple of us were left in the dust, so. Stop revolver. Oh, yeah. Right, I think we looted everything then.
Let us not dawdle.
Alright, we're out of here. He was saving in one piece. I should. Well. He is not necessarily in one piece. She quickly pulls herself together. It will be done immediately. Thank you for letting me know, your lordship. All right, we're out of here.
Always keep your eye on the prize.
Permission to report, Lord Captain. Over the past few days, I've received several messages from different decks complaining about anomalous behaviors in the ship's cogitators and servitors. Machine spirits are restless and rebellious, and no tech litany or ritual pacification can rid them of their obstinacy. Tech priests can deal with the vessel system, but the servitors, they make errors in their tasks, disobey orders, change the assigned ritual, sometimes downright freeze as an infinite trance. Lord Captain, occurrences such as these are caused by errors in cogitator calculation, or have some other sensible explanation. I beseech you not to take after those who whisper about the ship being cursed or possessed. Oh, don't start, old man. All these peculiar happenings have long since turned into a local legend. Door slams shut, a lumen starts flickering. Folks have grown used to all that, so our resident ghost has decided to up the ante. I'm telling you, things are going to get worse from here. Detective Mats inspected the servitors and concluded they pose no danger. According to the servants of the Omnissiah, such behavior is caused either by the echoes of the mines not completely eliminated or by manifestations of the machine spirits' will. Nevertheless, the faulty servitors make the crew's tasks considerably more difficult. The High Factum Janris Danrock would like to discuss how he should deal with the defective property. He is waiting your audience on the bridge. Okay. Give me just a minute. I will be right back. Okay. Points of interest. Unidentified void ship. Alright, hang on. No. Stop. That's not what I meant to do. How do I go? Oh, there we go. Back to bridge. Who wanted to talk to me? Someone want to talk to me? Can't see an Uwe. Oh. Alright. I think we're gonna put a stop there, actually. It's time to go eat. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, did a little bit more. A little bit more has been done. Chip away at this, but it's fun. It's fun. I like it. I like it a lot. So, anyways, enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and ta-ta for now.